Wasn't it delightful? I mean, love is from God, right? God is love and all of this, and so it's great. And so you're in love, and then they're not in love with you, and then
It's drama.
it's drama. Who needs drama, right?
I know.
What do you think? No. Yes.
Yeah, it's very delightful.
It's delightful. Breaking up. It's great, right? Sometimes.
The relationship must have not been that good.
If you're doing the breaking up, it can be good. If you're the receiver of the breaking up, not good. No.
If you win, though.
So emotion, see if we could do away with emotion, wouldn't it be good? Okay, I need some guys in here. Would it be good to get rid of emotion? No, why not?
I'm an emotional guy.
No, we have that on tape. He's an emotional guy. Here, we have a real emotional guy. I thought, are emotions good?
I'd say so.
For what?
Allows you to feel.
Okay.
You can express yourself with
You can express yourself with emotion, but the Wenhams do a great job of expressing themselves.
They're probably really stiff.
What is their purpose? Yeah, like what's their purpose in life?
To have harmony in their community. They don't have
You
wars.
don't have a community if you don't have purpose.
And we have harmony and we have emotions.
If you didn't do it because it's socially right, then what's the point?
Well, okay, but look at this. Look at this. All of this business of war on page 452. Look at what the Wenhams don't even know about. The Wenhams have no idea about this on page 452. He asked me what were the usual causes. This is the first full paragraph on 452. He asked me what were the usual causes or motives that made one country go to war with another. I answered they were innumerable, but I should only mention a few of the chief. Sometimes the ambition of princes who never think they have land or people enough to govern. Sometimes the corruption of ministers who engage their master in a war in order to stifle or divert the clamor of the subjects against their evil administration. Difference in opinions has cost many millions of lives. For instance, whether flesh be bread or bread be flesh, whether the juice of a certain berry be blood or wine, whether whistling be a vice or virtue, whether it be better to kiss a post or throw it into the fire. What's the best color for a coat, whether black, white, red, or gray, and whether it should be long or short, narrow or wide, dirty or clean, with many more. Neither are any wars so furious and bloody or of so long a continuance as those occasioned by a difference in opinion. Just in opinion, right? Not even a fact, right? I mean, and most of what he's talking about here are religious reasons for going to war. Because so many of these people go to war for religious reasons. And so, the Wenhams don't know anything about this. What do you think? Yeah.
I mean, I think if you lack emotions, then harmony is just kind of implied. It's not something that they really have to work at. Like, I mean, if they're not debating on things like that, then naturally it's just kind of all gonna fall into place.
Okay, so naturally fall into place. Would you want to live there where it naturally falls into place?
I personally wouldn't.
Why not?
Because it just doesn't feel like an existence without emotions. Like, feel like the program. And that's not how I'd want to live.
Okay, so so far it seems like most of you would prefer to live in a place where there is a potential for the loss of love, the potential for fighting and wars and corruption. Even though there's that potential for something bad, you would rather live there than in a place where there is no love or choice or where there's no emotion.
If you live in a society that's corrupt and bad, then you see the good.
If you live in a society that's corrupt and bad, then you get to see the good. Okay. Okay. So maybe the Wenhams wouldn't even care that much. I mean, at least there's a sense of loving and embracing and fighting for the good that you care for. Do you think that's what Swift is saying? Because Gulliver, what is Gulliver like? And this is something that we really have to be careful about. I'm talking out here, but we also have to be careful about this when we read. What does Gulliver say and what does Swift say? What does Gulliver say and what does Swift say? So what is Gulliver like? When he goes back home, what happens to him when he's at home? Doesn't like it. What about his wife? Isn't he happy to see her?
Not really.
Yeah, he's kind of like, oh, ooh, you smell like one of those yahoos. So who does he like the smell of? Say it loud, you're right. Everybody say Winans all together. I think we'd sound like a bunch of horses because it's supposed to sound kind of whinny-ish, but okay. So he likes the horses, right? He goes and hangs out in the stable when he gets home, and it takes him a long time before he can even eat with his wife. She has to sit at the other end of the table, right? He can't even eat dinner with his wife. He hangs out in the stable because he doesn't like human beings. They're too emotional. Now, that's Gulliver. Does Swift, the author, think the same thing? Does Swift agree with Gulliver, or would Swift want to live in a place? What is he saying? What's he trying to tell us? I'm going to come over here and ask you guys, because y'all haven't said much. So what do you think? Does Swift agree with Gulliver? No. Swift does not agree with Gulliver. How do you know? A lucky guess. He got it right. It was a lucky guess, but he got it right. How can you tell that Swift does not agree with Gulliver? No idea? Did you read? Ah! Look out, reading quiz on Friday. Who has read?
I mean, is it kind of like the way that he writes it? Like, he's kind of like bashing him the whole time.
Yeah. Okay, he's bashing him. Is he bashing him the whole time?
Well, not the whole time, but like, stuff that he disagrees with, he kind of like, you can just tell that he just doesn't agree with it.
Okay, you're right. You're right. What we want to do is be able to give examples in your post. Yes.
Well, he's kind of a thought, but Gulliver himself is a human. So if he dislikes humans for the way they act, he is one. So I think Swift is saying you can't dislike something that you are.
Beautiful. Yes. He can't dislike other human beings because he is a human being. And so if he goes home and he hates his wife because she's a human being, that's just wrong. You're rejecting something that is innately human when you reject human beings. Right. Okay. So yes, it's ridiculous to go home and hate your wife because she smells like a yahoo? That's crazy, right? He wants to hang out with the horses that aren't rational in the human world in England. The horses in England are not rational beings. They're horses, but he likes the horses better because they smell like the ones that were in the Wynnum land, right? So that's part of it. He also the fact that there's something missing in what the Wynnums propose. For instance, all the stuff about marriage. Do you remember how they decide who to marry and that sort of thing?
It's like society, like what's best for everybody else.
They don't get to choose. So you don't get to fall in love and marry the person you love. You don't get to do that. Instead, they decide these two horses look really nice together and they've got this one's strengths match with that one's strengths, and so they arrange it and all of that. That's no fun, right? What? They're breeding. They're not marrying. Exactly. There's no real bond there. And the same thing with the children. If somebody has an extra kid, take it away and give it to somebody who doesn't have one. It doesn't allow for the human bonds of love, compassion, and even mercy, because they don't want him. I mean, he hasn't really done anything to them. They reject Gulliver because he's not fitting in quite right, but they don't have any mercy or ability to deal with anything outside their realm of understanding. So they reject the human And so Swift is saying, well, maybe we could learn from this. So he is being funny about the stuff like the reasons for war. He said, especially this business of neither are any wars so furious and bloody or so long continuance as those occasioned by difference in opinion. That was back on 452. That business of maybe we could be a little more rational and stop doing nutty things for passion. You know, we shouldn't do such extreme things like cause wars over opinions. We could learn from the Wenhams, and it highlights the flaws in what's human, but we don't want to become Wenhams because it just isn't very much fun. And I was thinking about that as I was actually driving on campus today, and I thought, if we were Wenhams, we'd be sitting inside. You know?